Have you noticed how one single episode of Beyond the Gates can suddenly flip the entire emotional balance of the show upside down? Because that is exactly what happened here. This second episode honestly feels like the calm before a Category 5 emotional hurricane, and I'm not even exaggerating. We got hope, betrayal, romance, manipulation, undercover danger, and one absolutely wild confession involving Nicole that I still cannot stop thinking about. And let me just say this right now. The writers are playing a very dangerous game with Grayson and Ashley. Dangerous in the best soap opera way possible. So let's break all of this down because, wow, there is a lot happening beneath the surface. First of all, Anita, finally, can we all breathe for 1 second? After weeks of emotional stress surrounding her chemotherapy journey, Anita finally receives positive news about her treatment, and honestly, I think the entire fan base needed this moment. Soap operas love pain. They thrive on suffering, secrets, and emotional destruction. So when a legacy character like Anita actually gets a win, it matters. And I think the timing is extremely intentional because while Anita's storyline gives us relief and hope, the plasma ring storyline immediately drags us back into paranoia, betrayal, and emotional chaos. It's almost like the show is saying, okay, enjoy this happiness for 5 minutes, now let's ruin everyone else's life. Classic soap behavior. Now, here's where things become really interesting. Jacob and Smitty finally cornered Grayson emotionally, and somehow, they managed to break through his walls. I honestly didn't think Grayson would crack this early. I truly believed he would continue protecting Leah and the plasma operation out of fear. But once Jacob framed the situation as saving future victims instead of simply taking down criminals, that changed everything for Grayson psychologically. That's the key detail. Grayson doesn't see himself as a villain. He sees himself as someone trapped inside a machine that is bigger than him. And the second Jacob gave him a chance to become a protector instead of just a survivor, Grayson grabbed onto it. That's huge. But here's the kicker. Even after betraying Leah, Grayson still doesn't know who the real leader of Plasma is. And that tells me something terrifying. Leah may not actually be the true mastermind. Think about that for a second. The writers keep positioning Leah as the obvious villain, but soap operas love hidden puppeteers, especially in criminal organization storylines. I would not be shocked if someone we already know, someone completely unexpected, is secretly controlling Plasma from the shadows. Because the fact that Grayson himself remains in the dark tells us the organization was designed with layers of manipulation. And honestly, that makes the story even scarier. Now, let's talk about the emotional disaster currently known as Grayson and Ashley. Because this relationship is becoming painful to watch in the most addictive way possible. Grayson is now living a double nightmare. On one side, he's secretly helping Jacob destroy Plasma. On the other side, he's desperately trying to protect Ashley from Leah's surveillance. And that explains why he intentionally pushed Ashley away. That scene hurt. You could practically feel Grayson forcing himself to act cold and cruel just so Leah would believe the relationship was truly over. But the tragedy is that Ashley doesn't know any of this. From her perspective, Grayson lied to her, manipulated her, and emotionally abandoned her. And honestly, Ashley has every right to be furious. This is where the writing gets smart, though, because Grayson's sacrifice is noble, but it's also selfish. Yes, he's trying to protect Ashley, but he's also making decisions for her without giving her the truth. That's always dangerous in relationships on soaps. Every single time someone says, I lied to protect you, it eventually explodes into an even bigger emotional catastrophe. And now Derek enters the picture at the perfect moment. Oh, Grayson is going to hate this. Let's be real here. Derek absolutely has an opening now. The tension between Derek and Ashley lately has been fascinating because their arguments were rooted in one central issue, Grayson. Derek warned Ashley. He suspected Grayson was hiding something. Ashley defended Grayson emotionally. And now Derek's suspicions are being validated. That changes everything. When Derek shows up to apologize right after Ashley's breakup, the timing could not be more dangerous for Grayson. Ashley suddenly realizes Derek wasn't trying to attack her relationship out of jealousy alone. Part of him genuinely saw warning signs she ignored. That creates emotional trust. And emotional trust is how soap opera reunions begin. Honestly, I think Derek is slowly becoming Ashley's emotional safe space. Not necessarily because she's deeply in love with him right now, but because he represents stability during a moment when Grayson represents confusion and pain. But do I think Ashley is truly over Grayson? Absolutely not. Not even close. In fact, I'd argue Ashley's obsession with uncovering Grayson's secrets proves she still loves him deeply. If she truly stopped caring, she would walk away. Instead, she's investigating him, questioning him, chasing answers. That's emotional attachment. Ashley doesn't just want closure, she wants understanding. And that's why I think Grayson still has hope. A painful, messy, soap opera level hope, but hope nonetheless. Because eventually the truth about Plasma will come out. Eventually, Ashley will realize why Grayson pushed her away. And when that moment happens, oh, it's going to be explosive. I can already picture the confrontation scene. Ashley crying, Grayson finally confessing everything, Leah possibly threatening both of them, Jacob closing in on Plasma at the same time. That's the kind of emotional climax this storyline is building toward. And speaking of Jacob, can we talk about how important this alliance with Grayson really is? This changes the entire investigation. Before this, Jacob was chasing shadows. Now he finally has someone inside Plasma feeding him information. Even if Grayson doesn't know the identity of the true leader, he understands the structure, the operations, the fear tactics. That insider knowledge could become the breakthrough Jacob desperately needed. But it also puts Grayson in unimaginable danger because now he's playing both sides. And in stories like this, that never ends cleanly, the upcoming Plasma deal especially worries me. The show keeps emphasizing how massive this transaction is, which usually means one thing in soap storytelling: disaster is coming. Somebody gets exposed, somebody gets hurt, somebody dies, or all three. And Grayson will probably be forced to continue pretending he's loyal while secretly helping Jacob sabotage the operation. That pressure alone could destroy him emotionally. But symbolically, I love what the writers are doing here. The destruction of Plasma is no longer just about crime. It represents emotional freedom for multiple characters. If Plasma falls, Grayson can finally stop hiding. If Plasma falls, Ashley and Grayson might rebuild their relationship. If Plasma falls, Jacob may finally reunite with Naomi. See how interconnected everything is? That's good soap writing. Every storyline emotionally feeds another storyline. Now, we need to discuss Nicole, because what was that revelation? I'm sorry, but I nearly dropped my drink hearing this. Nicole admitting that she was thinking about Ted while sleeping with Carlton is one of the messiest emotional confessions we've gotten in a while. And the fact that she immediately turns to Danny for advice makes it even more interesting, because Danny usually sees through emotional denial faster than anyone. Here's my theory. I do not think Nicole is temporarily nostalgic. No, I think her feelings for Ted never fully disappeared. That's the uncomfortable truth she's beginning to face. Because let's be honest, people don't accidentally imagine their ex during intimacy, unless there's unresolved emotional attachment buried deep underneath the surface. Especially not in soaps. Soap operas never include details like that randomly. It means something. The real question is whether Nicole misses Ted specifically, or misses the emotional version of herself that existed when she was with him. Those are two very different things. And I think the writers are intentionally blurring that line right now. Carlton should be worried, seriously worried, because once emotional confusion enters a relationship, secrets usually follow. And once secrets begin, the collapse isn't far behind. What fascinates me most is how this entire episode revolves around hidden truth. Grayson hides the truth to protect Ashley. Ashley hides how deeply she still cares. Jacob hides the pressure he's under. Nicole hides unresolved feelings for Ted. Even Anita's hopeful storyline comes after hiding fear and uncertainty for weeks. That's why this episode worked so well emotionally. Every character is trapped between truth and survival. And trust me, those situations never stay buried forever and beyond the gates. The cliffhanger energy is building fast now, and I honestly think next week could completely change multiple relationships permanently. Especially once Ashley gets closer to the truth about plasma. Because if Ashley discovers that Grayson pushed her away to save her life, everything changes. And Derek may end up losing her just as quickly as he got close to her. That's the cruel beauty of soap operas, isn't it? Just when someone thinks they finally have a chance at happiness, the truth explodes through the door.